The following is a presentation of The Day.
As January turns to February, teams gear up for the stretch run. Embrace the pain, the grind, the bumps and the bruises. Dig deep, because every game means a bit more. Nothing is given. Ledyard enters their second half above 500, winners of 4 of 5, and looking to outwork and out-tough their opponents. Luke Shevlin is a true big man, Cal Cassavant a versatile athlete, and Jack Leaf a physical presence. Coach DJ Exum makes one promise: they will compete to the last possession. Stonington is flying high at 10-3, also winners of 4 and 5, with lofty expectations. Elijah Cornell is a must-see, Brady O'Neill the consummate leader, and Sean Durham the ultimate competitor. Coach Jay Wozencroft wants his Bears to make a statement to the league as they defend the Lair. The Stonington Bears host the Ledyard Colonels in a Saturday afternoon showdown, and all the action is live on game day on theday.com. Nothing like a little Saturday afternoon basketball, an ECC showdown between the Ledyard Colonels and the Stonington Bears from the Lair on the campus of Stonington High School. It's all the action and more live on game day. Game day is brought to you by Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. You know, an injury due to someone else's carelessness can change everything. The experienced team of attorneys at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates understand that life's unexpected turns can be overwhelming, and they're here to help. Whether it's a car accident, slip and fall, or a dog attack, they advocate on your behalf. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too. They hope you never need their services, but they're here if you do. Call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates today at 860-MMB-TEAM or visit mmbteam.com. Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. Why have one attorney when you can have a team? Casey O'Neill along with Anthony Picallo, thank you for joining us on game day. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Stonington High School.
An honor and a pleasure to be here. I've been a fan of what you guys do from the absolute beginning for these teams, for these kids. Now, understand, big shoes to fill. I try to emulate Gentleman Juicy in my life and everything that I do. Unfortunately, the white suit is at the dry cleaner, so we'll make do with what we have. I
have WWJD, what would Juice do? And that has served me well in my broadcasting as well. And, you know, having you here with us is our pleasure. You were scheduled earlier in the year. I appreciate you rescheduling to come back today. And, you know, it's going to be fun. We're going to get a chance to see, two teams playing well, 4 out of 5 between both of them. And we're going to get a chance to see something we rarely see, 2 legitimate big men, though they play a little bit differently. And we'll talk about that coming up. We have our third member of the team here, as always. You talk about a big man with versatile skills. That's the sports doctor. Hey, Keith.
Hey, guys, thanks a lot. I had a chance to talk to both coaches before the game. You know, I talked to Jay from Stonington. I said, you're going to shoot the ball a lot from downtown? He said, no, sports doctor. We're going to attack the rim. When we settle for the three-point shot, we become easy to defend on the offensive end. So look for Stonington to push, try to get the ball to the rim, and they're going to trap, and they're going to press on defense. And for DJ Exum and this Ledyard bunch, they're a tough group of kids, hard-working. He says we're going to have fun, and we're going to play hard, and we're never going to give up. This is going to be a great, great matchup, guys. I can't wait to see who comes up top. You guys are looking good over there, too, for Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon.
Thank you, sports doctor. I know it's been a big week for him. He's been living his best life, and thank you for joining us today. Talk a little bit about, you've had a chance to talk with both coaches, you've talked with both teams. Talk a little bit about what you see today.
Well, firstly, Stonington's well-traveled. 5 games out of state this year, 3 Rhode Island games, 2 Massachusetts games. They play a great 1-3-1. It's stifling. They can turn you over with ease. Elijah Cornell, incredibly impressive on tape. He can score from anywhere. Ledyard, they are trending upward. 2 wins this week, and this is the big one. Great senior leadership, and the key is these kids believe. They believe in what DJ Exum has been pushing on them all year, and they're ready to go. Height advantage is also big. Obviously, Jack Shelvin averages over 10 rebounds a game. But when it comes down to the keys, it's going to be rebounding. If they are going to play that 1-3-1, can they rebound out of it? Can they turn Ledyard over? Turnovers. Can Ledyard cut down the turnovers? Can they get the ball where it needs to go? And, of course, three-point shooting. I know that Coach Wozencroft said that they don't want to rely on that, but when they are flying up and down the court, it's a huge advantage for them.
Yeah, I mean, Stonington can score in bunches. Ledyard has struggled to score at times this year. Ledyard, a much more workmanlike approach to everything they have to do. Stonington can really click. They can be efficient and a real sort of loose, easy team to watch, and their points can come in bunches. When you look at these two things, if you had to give a key, sort of one key for Ledyard, one key for Stonington, what would it be?
I think rebounding. I think both ways. I think the rebounding battle is going to tell a lot of the story here. If Ledyard can control the boards and slow this game down, they're going to be in great shape.
So we got the two big men we talked about, Luke Shevlin and Elijah Cornell. They're both big, but they both play a lot of different ways. Shevlin is your absolute quintessential post guy. Big body, can score with both hands, either block. He's going to do his work primarily in the paint. Elijah Cornell, prototype of modern basketball. Big, long, wants to live on the perimeter, and he can fill it up. Let's meet all of the players in today's game, brought to you by Mike Whalen and Farmers Insurance.
Carson Luther, Ledyard Center School.
Jordan Sizer, Preston Middle School.
Dorian Green, Ledyard Middle School.
Calvin Cassavant, homeschooled.
Trent Burke, LCS Elementary.
Milo Leaf, Ledyard Middle School.
Antonio Larkey, Ledyard Middle School.
Jack Leaf, Ledyard Center School.
Chase Martin, Ledyard Middle School.
Luke Shevlin, Ledyard Center Elementary.
Kellen Hinchy, Deansmill Elementary.
Aaron Vislowski, Deansmill Elementary.
Braden Wolfred, Deansmill Elementary.
Tyler Jordan, Deansmill Elementary.
Corin Pedigo, Deansmill Elementary.
Brady O'Neill, West Vine Elementary School.
Sean Durham, Deansmill Elementary.
Tyler Samini, Deansmill Elementary School.
Cormac Murphy, West Vine Elementary School.
Luke Hoagland, Deansmill.
Reese Phelan, West Vine Elementary.
Elijah Cornell, Deansmill Elementary.
Michael Whalen of Farmers Insurance in Niantic is a longtime resident of Connecticut. With over 30 years of experience within the insurance and financial services industry, Michael Whalen of Farmers in Niantic has built his agency with a strong focus on helping the community address their insurance needs. Whether you're looking for affordable home insurance, auto insurance, recreational coverage, or life insurance to protect your family, stop by the office located just by Midway Plaza in Niantic or call 860-850-4416. Players need endurance, and Mike Whalen puts the endurance in your insurance. Call him today. All free throws this year will be brought to you by Phillies, home of the ECC's best cheesesteak. It has a brand new location across from the Sub Base in Groton. There and at all the Phillies locations, if you walk in and you tell them every day is game day, you get 10% off your cheesesteak. Did you hear me wrong? No, you did not hear me wrong. You go into Phillies, you kick the door down, you yell out loud every day is game day. Maybe not kick the door down, but you yell every day is game day, you get 10% off a cheesesteak. The Phillies team is always hiring, so you can join the Phillies family at any time. Check out therealphillies.com. All timeouts this year brought to you by CRAC. CRAC works to strengthen prevention, treatment, recovery, and advocacy efforts in order to promote behavioral health across the lifespan in Eastern Connecticut. As they go through the sportsmanship, we will be bringing you the national anthem as well as the starters. But one thing that always strikes me, too, is how does a Saturday afternoon 1 o'clock game affect teams? Like, it's one thing to get a Friday night game is everyone's up and everyone's here. Saturday afternoon at 1, we don't see a lot of these games anymore.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to treat it as a school day, I think. You know, you have to treat it as a normal day. So you can't sleep until 9 or 10. You got to be up at 5:30. You need to go through your normal routine to be ready to go.
I think, in particular, the 1 o'clock game, it feels very much like the old days of rec basketball. First of all, it's never this bright in the gym. It's bright sunshine outside. So the gym feels very bright. No matter how many people are here, it almost feels airy and light. So, locking in becomes a little different.
And on top of it, you're getting the extra sun from the snow, so it's even brighter than it normally is.
You see Coach Jay Wozencroft there as they are presenting some honors before the game, and we will be sending it over. This is Coaches Against Cancer game. You'll see a lot of pink being worn on both sides, and Stonington honoring one of their own in the Coaches versus Cancer game. Very nice. The Rose tribute this is one of the things about high school basketball and high school sports that I love the most is the number of things that we do.
It's so important research for this disease, so any contributions are just really an incredible thing, so thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Laura. As Laura mentioned, this afternoon during both games, our players will be collecting donations. All proceeds will be donated to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation in honor of Laura. Thank you for supporting cancer research and those impacted by this disease. And now, the starting lineups for today's contest. For the Colonels, number 2, Carson Luther. Number 5, Dorian Green. Number 10, Calvin Casavan. Number 21, Jack Leaf. And number 33, Luke Shevlin. Ledyard is coached by DJ Exum, who is assisted by Brian Riley, Josh Orr, and AJ Burgess. And now, the starters for your Stonington Bears. At guard, number 0, Cohen Hinchy. At guard, number 3, Braden Wolfrat. At guard, senior captain, number 11, Brady O'Neill. At forward, junior captain, Sean Durham. And at forward, sophomore captain, number 30, Elijah Cornell. Stonington is coached by Jay Rosencroft, who is assisted by Jeff Moore, Arnie De La Rosa, Ryan Francis, Alex DePerry, and Mark Gervasini. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
As we head to the opening tip of the game, it is brought to you by Norwich Free Academy. If you live in Eastern Connecticut, you belong at Norwich Free Academy. From college prep and career pipelines to arts, athletics, and tech programs, NFA offers more opportunities than other high schools in the region. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Engage your future at NFA. Visit nfaschool.org. And as always, great guard play will be brought to you by the Guard Arts Center. You want to go to Guard Arts, check out the Breezeway Arts Series. You want to check out great movies at the Guard on the big screen. The Breeze Line Winners Cinema Series. Their season pass is still available. guardarts.org. All right, business out of the way. Game time is here. Shevlin and Cornell. It'll not be the last time we say the two of them in concert with each other. Ledyard in the blue and gold, Stonington in the white and gold, and off we go. Shevlin wins the tip, and Ledyard will have the first possession.
Looks like Stonington in that 1-3-1 to start.
Going to trap it whenever they can. Green kicks out to a cutting Cassavant, blocked by Cornell. Now Cassavant goes left a lot on the cut because he's a strong left-handed player. Cornell was waiting.
And they can use Cornell in several different ways. They can use him to point the ball at the top, and they can use him in the middle to help with rebounding.
Luther, guarded by O'Neal. And there's Leaf with Wolfrat on him. Good open look. Leaf, Shevlin in the corner, and they're going to turn it over. The shot clock was due to expire anyway. Good defense that time from Stonington. Ledyard's not going to pressure much. You're going to see them play a pretty traditional, hardcore half-court defense. Durham with an open look for three. Good! Easy peasy on the offensive end, and it's a quick 3-0 lead, and here comes that 1-3-1. You mentioned what were they going to do with Shevlin, where they're guarding Shevlin. They're not going to let him.
Right, they
operate.
don't want him to catch it at all.
Ledyard turns it over. Stonington will have it back. And let's see how they approach Stonington after Durham had a wide open look. Cornell has it up top. Big man can distribute. There's another look from Durham. Got it! Quick back-to-back threes from Sean Durham, and it's a 6-0 lead early.
And Cornell bringing Luke Shevlin away from the basket is dangerous.
Good cut. There's Shevlin down low, and if they can get him the ball there, they can get some easy baskets.
Quick passes, very little dribbling.
Nice look. O'Neal blocked by Shevlin, but I think we're going to get a foul prior to that as Hinchy was heading to the basket. Your officials today, Richard Cole and Sean Conroy, and one thing I love about Mike DeMoro is he always describes the officials so I'll know which one's which with one descriptive word. I won't say what those descriptive words are. I'll let everybody out there come up with their own. 2 free throws brought to you by Phillies. As Brady O'Neal knocks the first one down, he'll have one more. Overall, a very good shooting, including free throw shooting team, are the Bears. The length of Cornell at the top of that 1-3-1, most teams would have had him as the back point of it. Playing him up top changes things dramatically.
And again, just a little bit too much dribbling there. He dribbled into the attack point, but that pass didn't get there quick enough.
So far, it's been easy for Stonington to get good shots. Ledyard changing up the defense here, going to a little version of their own zone. Shevlin did a nice job disrupting the pass. And a turnover. Now Ledyard, if they can get it up quickly, they can avoid the 1-3-1. And Leaf knocks it down on the baseline. That's a nice job by the Colonels. Nice look. Oh, Cornell with a beautiful offensive rebound. And a steal from Hinchy. Cornell with his first look from three. Good! Stonington hasn't missed from behind the arc. Got to move the ball quickly. The Colonels are realizing Cassavant goes baseline, finds himself in some trouble, and there's another Colonel turnover.
They're dribbling exactly where Stonington wants them to dribble right now, and that's creating the problems.
Sub in the game for Ledyard. Trent Burke will check in. Cassavant will have a seat. And what Stonington is going to do is they're going to dictate where you go with the ball. So when you say, Ledyard's going right to where they want, that's because they're leading them and Stonington is inflicting or imposing their will. Ledyard needs to dictate it by turning up the tempo a little bit, crisper, quicker passes. Beautiful move by Cornell. Use the body to shade Shevlin, and Elijah Cornell will go to the line to shoot 2 in the first direct matchup between our two bigs today.
That's 3 possessions in a row that Shevlin affected the shot.
Draws the foul this time, however, so Cornell will go to the line. He'll shoot a pair of free throws brought to you by Phillies. If you're looking for the best cheesesteak in the ECC, why not roll into Phillies? Tell them every day is game day, get 10% off. One more for Elijah Cornell. Again, they're a really good shooting team, and that includes free throws. You don't want to put Stonington behind the arc, and you don't want to put them at the line. You got to find a way to make them shoot at the 15-foot part. Burke, nice dump down. Shevlin finds Green. Shevlin's there on the offensive rebound. Blocked by Cornell. What a great sequence in both directions, but Stonington gets the better of it. Good defense by Leaf, and he steals it from Hinchy and draws the foul on Hinchy. Ledyard basketball. Ledyard's doing a nice job fighting on the defensive end. They just can't keep giving away points on the offensive end. They're going to get turned over a certain number of times by this 1-3-1. So when they have opportunities at the basket like they did last time, they have to convert.
Right. You're exerting so much effort and energy on the defensive end to stop them that some of those layups might not go in.
Nice tip on the offensive glass by Shevlin, following up the Burke miss. Cornell bombs away, back iron, no. There comes Leaf, trying to push it, which gets you out ahead of that 1-3-1. Burke for 3, back iron, no good. Rebound by Durham, and Stonington will start to use a little tempo in the other direction. Nifty move from Cornell. Old school pump fake up and under.
You have Stonington in man-to-man now, out of the 1-3-1.
And they're switching it, so there goes Leaf to the basket, draws the foul on Cornell. He wanted the block from behind, but Leaf with good body control, he'll go to the line and shoot a pair. So Jack Leaf, the senior, will have a pair of free throws brought to you by Phillies. Substitutions in the game for Stonington. Checking in is Braden Langren. He'll replace Hinchy. And also in the game is Cormac Pettigrew. And Pettigrew there's Durham for 3, no good. Nice rebound right into the game by Langren. Dump down underneath. Swing it around Cornell. Good ball movement for Stonington. Nice look underneath from O'Neal to Langren.
Outstanding ball movement.
Luther, left hand, no good. Affected by Cornell. O'Neal attacks, floats, back iron, gets his own rebound. Cornell has a spot up 3. Back iron, no good, and Shevlin high for the rebound. Leaf got to the basket, drew the foul. They'll say it's on the floor. Looks like that's against Pettigrew. And Ledyard will have it underneath their basket. Blocked by Cornell. Green went strong, but Cornell was stronger. Leaf pulls up from the free throw line. No, Green with a good rebound. Finds Shevlin, blocked by Cornell. Titan versus Titan, and Cornell gets the most of it. Good look underneath Cornell. Shevlin couldn't quite get there. Biggest lead of the game for the Bears, it's 12.
Well, things are starting to slip away early here. I don't know if you want a timeout at this point, but
Luther. Now Leaf pulls up, no good. Rebound comes out to Durham. Good defense on the floor. Dorian Green. Possession arrow favors Stonington. And checking into the game for the Bears is senior Aaron Vislowski. He'll give O'Neal a rest. Cassavant into the game for Ledyard. He'll give Luther a rest. So this is the bigger version of the Ledyard team. Cornell drives, floats, no good. Nice dump down. Shevlin had the mismatch, but it was too late. It allowed Cornell to rotate over, and he got the weak side block. DJ Exum was jumping up and down to let him know they had the weak side mismatch with Shevlin, but by the time they got it to him, Cornell was there. Leaf, Cassavant now, the lefty. Shot clock under 10. Ledyard's going to have to get going. 2, going to have to shoot it, and they're not going to get it off. Shot clock violation. With 1.5, I know they were trying to run it down to get the last shot of the quarter, and they may have successfully done that. Looks like Stonington will be able to get a shot off. Let's see from where. It's going to be three-quarter court. Good if it goes. Just short. Great quarter for the Bears, up 12. We'll be back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
An injury due to someone else's carelessness can change everything. At Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates, we understand that life's unexpected turns can be overwhelming, and our experienced legal team is here to help. Whether it's a car accident, slip and fall, or dog attack, we advocate on your behalf. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too. We hope you never need our services, but we are here if you do. Call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates today at 860-MMB-TEAM or visit mmbteam.com.
Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. Why have one attorney when you can have a team?
We're back, second quarter about to get underway, 19-7, Stonington on top of Ledyard, and I think that's kind of the core. If you had to say which team matched its identity, Stonington really matched its identity there. They knocked down some open threes, they turned you over a few times, almost all the things you talked about with them, we saw. They turned you over on the 1-3-1, they got some easy baskets on the offensive side of things, they knocked down shots, and they forced Ledyard to work harder for their points. The 7 points of Ledyard is really indicative of how hard Stonington made them work.
Definitely, and they dictated the game from the start, and they're forcing Ledyard to play their way, and right now Ledyard isn't capable of doing that. But we had a lot of games to go.
Sports Doctor, you were listening in on the huddle. What did you hear?
Well, Coach Exum wants his big man to play big. Catch the ball, lean into, with his body in case he can be more physical down there. He's getting his shot blocked. And as far as, Jay, he talks about stay home, cover the big man. They're not a three-point shooting team, so let's stay home and rebound the ball.
Well, Shevlin with an offensive rebound, a second offensive rebound, and then loses it out of bounds. Good news, you did what your coach wanted, you played big. Bad news, you got to get that ball to go down for you. So Stonington will have the ball and a chance at their biggest lead of the game. A sub into the game for the Bears. Tyler Simini coming to the game. And he'll give Durham a break. So I like the work that Shevlin did on the glass there, but when you're right there at the rim, you got to get that one to go down. I know when I'm playing on a good old-fashioned Nerf hoop, you know, I'm like almost automatic right around the rim. So my extent of knowledge around the rim. Good kick out. Pull-up jumper knocked down by Braden Langren. I like the early minutes we've seen from Langren.
Excellent, excellent form on the jumper, too.
High screen from Shevlin, frees up Burke. Leaf drives. Dump into Green at the high post. Hands off and will travel. The problem with Ledyard running as thorough an offense that they run and not shooting threes is you can't make up a 14-point deficit, and you got a team that's not going to stop scoring points. So that's the downside. Once you're down like this, it becomes hard to manufacture the points necessary to come back. Smooth jumper by Cornell at the elbow. And that's what I mean. The points for Stonington's are easy. Now we see a little full court pressure here from the Bears.
Cornell up to 11 points on the day so far.
Leaf, strong drive, but Cornell was there. Out of the pack. Bears came away with it. Now you couldn't see that on camera, but that basketball rolled right at our booth. I had my foot underneath the table. Old school, you can't untrain, you can't unremember the soccer skills that I had back in the day at New London High School.
Simply can't be taught.
Peter, would you say that was a what kind of kick would you say I used there to get that back onto the floor?
A weak one?
Oh, a Wiquet. A Wiquet, yeah, a Wiquet kick. Wiquet kick, absolutely symbolic of Franz Wiquet, a great 80s soccer player from Germany. Thank you. I thought so too.
You got to use your laces, Casey. That was too much of a toe ball.
Well, it's hard, but when you get to be, I can't move my foot down to use the laces.
Does the Ledyard have a corner kick?
Ledyard now has a corner kick, absolutely. So with 6:09 here in the second, in the biggest lead of the game by Stonington, again, Ledyard has what I would say is they have a high floor and a low ceiling, and that's what DJ Exum knows. They are going to give you an effort every night, so you're never going to see them play, uninspired. But there's only so much they can offer because they don't have a lot of shooters, and they're, subject a little bit to what their offense allows them to do. And against a team like Stonington, they are really struggling to put the ball in the basket.
And as the clock clicks on, you can see the Ledyard kids getting a little tighter. Not taking those threes at the top of the key, moving it a little bit more, being a little bit hesitant.
2 free throws coming up for Ledyard and Sebastian Holloway at the line. And these free throws are brought to you by Phillies. Looks like Hinchy's going to check back in the game, and the big guy, Elijah Cornell, is going to get a little breather as the leading scorer in this one thus far. One more for Holloway. Hinchy lobs down underneath. Blocked by Green. Nobody on the glass for Ledyard, though. And Holloway steals it. Colonels will have it. Let's see how the Bears play without O'Neal or Cornell on the floor. Leaf gets right to the basket, but there is a cap on that basket on that side of the floor. Get a foul against Ledyard, and that'll be underneath the basket now for Stonington.
Leaf really is the utility knife for this team. He's able to attack, decent shooter, but as you said, there's a lid on the basket right now.
I haven't seen so many good looks not go down, and it'll be interesting when Stonington goes that direction in their home gym, and they're going to say, yeah, they didn't know about the 5-degree tilt. Into the backcourt for Hinchy, and the Bears will run their offense. Hinchy drives. I like the confidence of this unit on the floor right now for Stonington. They haven't given an inch with Durham, O'Neill, and Cornell all out of the game. Green finally gets it to go and breaks what has been a scoreless drought for Ledyard. Hinchy and Wolfrat, the only starters on the floor right now for Stonington, and we're going to get a charge. So nice job, Colonel's taking the charge, and I think it would be a huge lift to their energy if they can get this thing where they can get to double digits and get this thing looking more like a basketball score again.
O'Neill back on the floor. He really steadies them.
Now let's see how this 1-3-1 plays when you don't have Cornell leading the top of it.
They're being a lot more patient with it than they were in the first quarter.
Diagonal cut was there, just out of the reach of Holloway. Burke wanted to lead him to the basket and just missed. Nice cut. Wolfrat was defended at the rim by Leaf. Other direction. Leaf drives, hangs, draws the foul, and without Cornell in the game, there is not a rim protector for Stonington. And on cue, you're going to see both Durham and Cornell come back into this. But first, we're going to get a free throw from Jack Leaf, and the free throws, of course, brought to you by Phillies.
Jack's a baseball player. You know, that is his focus, but he loves the system that Coach DJ Exum has. It's just nonstop movement, nonstop movement.
One more for Leaf. Second one is good, and so almost halfway through the second period before Ledyard gets into double digits in points. O'Neill dumps on the block. No Shevlin in the game, so this is a mismatch. O'Neill for three. Got it! Cassavant trapped. Stonington turning it up a little bit in that 1-3-1. Green, good ball movement that time by Ledyard, but you got to keep that movement. Can't let the 1-3-1 reset itself.
Excellent ball movement, but the help defense is there.
Cornell high for the rebound. O'Neill's going to push in the other direction. Threads the needle to Wolfrat, and he'll be fouled. I don't know how O'Neill saw that lane, but he did perfectly onto the hands of Wolfrat, who draws the foul. He'll shoot two. Bears up 16 and running away here. 2 free throws coming, brought to you by Phillies. If you want to run away this winter, I suggest going to Phillies. Yell every day is game day. Get yourself 10% off the cheesesteak.
Braden Wolfrat talked to me this week about the culture here in Stonington, and Coach Wozencroft has created a tight-knit group, and that's how they've grown this identity that they have, playing outside of the state, challenging themselves.
Wolfrat, the name's familiar, younger brother of Jace Wolfrat, a great career, multi-sport athlete, as is Braden. The Wolfrats, sons, of course, of Jay Wolfrat and Jamie. Great parents, good family here. They are, of course, Jay Wolfrat, great soccer coach in his own right over at Fitch. Green has it, loses it. And we're going to get a foul on the Colonels as they were trying to stop the ball. It's going to give Shevlin a chance to check back in the ball game. So Ledyard had played a few minutes without its big man. He's back in with 3:07, 16-point Bear lead. Nice look. Durham, now Cornell. O'Neal with a rebound, gets it back. Little two-man game, but we're gonna get a foul away from the ball. And it looks like they're gonna call a foul on the Colonels. Call is gonna be a foul on, looks like they're calling that reset the shot clock. Thank you, Sports Doctor, for giving us the signal on that one, the resetting of the shot clock. Hinchy for three, short. Cassavant, strong rebound, and Hinchy will draw the foul as he reached in trying to strip it away. That'll be the fourth team foul of the quarter on Stonington, so one more and Ledyard will be in the bonus.
I think slowing this game down, attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line, scoring while the clock isn't running is going to help Ledyard out.
Nice look, Shevlin, pump fakes, goes up, still got the block from behind by Cornell. Hinchy all the way to the basket. Hey, go, go, go! And a steal from O'Neal. The real deal at the rim, and it's a 19-20 point lead, 30-10, wow.
Brady O'Neal is everywhere.
Shevlin catches high, scores high. Hinchy kicks out. O'Neal, open three. Good! Brady O'Neal, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. He can shoot it more. They don't ask him to, but when he does, he knocks him down. Steal. Bears operating on all cylinders. Another strong move for Cohen Hinchy, and a timeout Ledyard as the Bears are off and running. The lead is 23. This timeout is brought to you by CRAC. When life feels overwhelming, call a timeout, step back, breathe, and remember, you don't have to face life alone. At CRAC, we believe connection is prevention. Reach out to a friend, a family member, or someone you trust. Take a timeout. Make a connection. It can change your day. Learn more at www.cracct.org. And let's take a look here. The Bears are just running the floor and doing everything right. Hinchy gets to the basket. He's been cutting it. O'Neal, threes. Cornell everywhere. Right now, Stonington's feeling good.
Just a cornucopia of weapons right now.
The Bears have flair. That they really do. They really love this team, not just for the talent, but for the sort of joy with which they play basketball. And you mentioned Brady O'Neal. I mean, he really, for a self-announced tennis player who just loves basketball, he really does have a high basketball IQ. He knows where to be. And I think one of the things I always have been a big believer in is that sports help other sports. And you can see his spatial awareness of a tennis court on a basketball court, his lateral movement on a basketball court, which is, you're a tennis player, that's what you bring to basketball.
Exactly, translatable skills.
Sports Doctor, you were listening in over there on the side. What did you hear?
Well, I mean, Stonington's not going to let up. As you just saw right here, the coaches asked him, do you have more left in you to close out the first half and really go into the locker room and feeling good? Boy, this team can, when they're cooking, man, they are cooking. They create offense off of defense. They move the ball very well, knock down open shots. And the one thing, too, guys, they are destroying Ledyard on both ends of the glass.
Now, we said rebounding was going to be a key, and it's been pretty much dominated by Stonington. Shevlin's had some offensive rebounds, but that's it. Durham for three. Got it! He has been unstoppable. Sean Durham, a threat from the three-point line all day long. Sports Doctor needs to ask if this is their best half of the season, because I can't imagine them playing much better than this in a half. Shevlin scores right at the rim. And they can have the last shot if they want it. They're up 24, and they can hold for one. Coach Wozencroft says, no, I want you to go. Running a little high weave, trying to get the mismatch look they want. O'Neal kicks, under 10 seconds, there goes Cornell. And just out of the reach of Durham, it gives Ledyard 3.5 seconds before the end of the half.
You know, holding for the last shot is always great, but when you have that much time to work with.
Luther, good at the goes at the buzzer, short. We're at halftime, 38-14. What a half for the Stonington Bears. The sports doctor is gonna have Stonington coach Jay Wozencroft, and I would be very interested in where he would rate this half among theirs of the season, because they played exceptionally well. Let's see what Coach Wozencroft has to say with the sports doctor.
All right, hey Jay, what a fantastic half of basketball the first half. One of your better first halves of the year?
100%. We just had to turn up our defense. We're playing some freaking defense. We gave up 14 points and a half. That 2 minute that 2 minute stretch there was pretty good.
Yeah, seven points a quarter, not too bad on the defensive end. What's the message in the locker room to keep things going here? I saw during that timeout you just urged the kids, don't let up, don't let up.
No, we can't take our foot off the gas. We've been here before, and it seems to kind of bite us in the butt if we stop playing. No letdown, no quit. We got to keep rolling.
Yeah.
We're not playing the score. We got to keep competing.
Yeah, one of the things too is I noticed you guys, you really handled yourselves on the glass very well, both ends.
Have to. They're aggressive. They're tough. I know how DJ coaches them. We have to match intensity. We have to be tougher. That's our calling card. That's kind of how we're going to have to win games.
All right, good luck in the second half. Casey?
All right, we are at the Waterford Dental Health halftime show. We're going to send it away. You're going to check out beautiful features on Ledyard and on Stonington, as well as the Philomena's friend of the program. We'll be back with second half action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. This Game Day Player Spotlight, powered by Joshua's Worldwide.
I run a window washing business, usually in the summers, just because sports all year round. I started it because I needed to find some sort of job, but I didn't know anywhere to apply, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna start something. So I started thinking, and my girlfriend's grandfather ran a window washing business for about 30 years in Westerly. So I asked him, I said, you mind teaching me a little bit? So he taught me how to get it done, and I had no plan, but I just started like everything. Made business cards, got a couple houses, mostly from like my grandparents' friends. And then they started telling people, we went door to door, and we ended up getting a lot of houses. So my summers were where that was my job, ended up being my job.
I'm not really coaching Brady at this point. We're kind of in a partnership with this, like I'll talk to him during huddles. Hey, what are you seeing? What do you want to run here? How do you feel about this? And we'll be in huddles and they'll say, hey, let's switch to this on defense. This is kind of turned into more of like a partnership. He's a great leader, works really hard, very easy to coach.
I think communication. I think it had a lot to do with communication, because running a business, when I go to door, try to sell myself, and then if they say yes and they get my number, communicating with them through text, and then arranging a time around my schedule, around their schedule. Sometimes they can be rude, and you have to kind of push that down and be as nice as you can to them, and that's kind of what I take into basketball and soccer, especially as a senior being captain. Just being able to talk to my teammates in a better way.
He does a lot of the communicating. You know what I mean? Hey, we're moving to this, or we're running this set, or we're changing. I'll say, hey Brady, you know what I mean? Let's go, and he's the one that kind of like does all that. I tell these guys all the time that if I don't have to be on them all the time, and they can be a player-led team, I'm more than happy. I have no problem taking a step back. We have leaders like Brady.
Since 1995, we've been revolutionizing transportation with our commitment to exceptional customer service. From sedans to 57-passenger motor coaches, our fleet of over 35 vehicles servicing diverse needs, including weddings, corporate events, group transportation, and much, much more. Our 24/7 availability, rigorous safety standards, and state-of-the-art technologies ensures a seamless experience. Join us on your next journey and experience the difference firsthand. At Joshua's Worldwide, we don't just provide a great ride, we deliver peace of mind.
this Game Day Player Spotlight, powered by Joshua's Worldwide.
When I was like little, I'd say I probably started collecting like baseball cards. Kind of my mom was a big collector, so she had her like childhood collection, and she gave that all to me. I still have it. I look at it every now and then.
I've been doing it for maybe since I was like 8 years old. I got a lot of old stuff from my grandfather he was gonna throw it all away, and I was very interested in sports at the time.
I just got started probably in May. This guy Trent, Ashley, and Carson, they got me started into it. Kind of kicked it off. I probably put like $200 into it to start, and it's skyrocketed since then.
The most fun I've had collecting, I have a memory. I was about like probably 10 or 11. I had a birthday party, right? And there would be baseball packs in the goodie bags. My mom bought them. And I pulled this, it was a Yasiel Puig card from like, it was a long time ago, like opening day 2015, something like that. And I pulled that. It was not worth anything, but it was like the coolest looking card. It had like, it kind of like had like a little shine to it, and I still have the card to this day.
Honestly, I just really collect because I like the hobby. It was kind of fun for me. Big stress reliever, you know, like when I go out, I don't have to really think about anything except for like the cards and making deals, but a lot of the deals that I make with people aren't really about the money. Like it's more about the exchange, you know, the personal interaction, getting to know each other.
I actually recently just bought this Jaden Daniels PSA 10. It's a Prism card.
My favorite card right now is probably just this SGA. I got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's a tiger skin.
I got a real big investment card right here. It's a Jack Caglione. I think he's gonna be really good. This card right now is worth about $500. I'm hoping it skyrockets as he plays and hopefully wins MVP. So we're all very close knit here, and like just like spending like the time in the locker room here, and then the car rides up to like these shows are hours away. It's just great bonding, and like we're all just so close knit, and it's just I think we have a really special bond that a lot of teams, you know, don't get to experience like we did.
If one Ledyard Colonel basketball player was made into a card, who would you want it to be?
I would want it to be Luke. I would want it to be Luke dunking his first time at. Actually, you were there. Dunking the first time against Plainfield. I want that to be on there where he's like this. I think that'd be sick. Maybe a little auto in there. That'd be sick, I think.
Has disaster struck your home? At Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates, our team of attorneys knows that dealing with insurance companies can be stressful and confusing, and we are here to help. From storm damage to fire or flooding, water leaks, and freezing pipes, we work tirelessly to ensure your full claim is paid. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too. Call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates today at 860-MMB-TEAM or at mmbteam.com.
Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. Why have one attorney when you can have a team?
This year on Game Day, we have partnered with Philomena's for a new segment, the Philomena's Friend of the Program. Every home game, the home school gets to choose a friend of the program, someone who devotes time, energy, and puts into the program often without accolades or rewards. Today at Stonington High School, the Philomena's Friend is Dane Lewis. According to Stonington, his years of commitment and leadership, as well as his professionalism and support of the students and staff of Stonington High School, have awarded him the Philomena's Friend of the Program. With us today, former Game Day great, hasn't been on Game Day this much in years, Mikey Bassetto representing Philomena's. He has a gift card from Philomena's for Mr. Lewis.
Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Say thanks to Dad, too. I will.
A continuing effort to reward those people who often don't get rewarded and give so much back to the schools. Today at Stonington High School, Mr. Lewis, congratulations, and thank you for all the work you do with Stonington.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Game Day, and everything you guys do, too. It's great.
Thank you very much. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Gear up for Game Day with a winning smile from Waterford Dental Health. Located in Waterford, we're your go-to for top-notch dental care in a relaxed, friendly setting. Whether you need a routine checkup, a cosmetic boost, or advanced treatment, our experienced team has you covered. Enjoy the game with confidence and comfort. Schedule your appointment today. Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is our top priority. Visit us online or call now to book.
An injury due to someone else's carelessness can change everything. At Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates, we understand that life's unexpected turns can be overwhelming, and our experienced legal team is here to help. Whether it's a car accident, slip and fall, or dog attack, we advocate on your behalf. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too. We hope you never need our services, but we are here if you do. Call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates today at 860-MMB-TEAM or visit mmbteam.com.
Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. Why have one attorney when you can have a team?
We're back, moments away from the second half. Let's take a look at Brady O'Neill and the Instincts stepping in front of the pass right there for an easy basket. And that's been kind of what Stonington was able to do in the first half, exert their will all over Ledyard High School. We're moments away from the second half tip, and that is brought to you by NFA. If you live in Eastern Connecticut, you belong at Norwich Free Academy. From college prep and career pipelines to arts, athletics, and tech programs, NFA offers more opportunities than any other high school in the region. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Engage your future at NFA. Visit nfaschool.org. Speaking of NFA, this is a direct message to NFA Athletic Director Chris Giusti. I just want him to know that the gauntlet has been thrown down by Grasso Tech. There was pizza waiting for us at the table. They had press passes for us. It was a 6-person table. I may or may not have had rose petals thrown at my feet while I walked. I can't remember. So that's my direct. I'm saying juice. You know, Anthony's stepping up the game next to me. You know, now that you're AD, we'll see what you bring to the table.
The Rose City is on notice.
So, I mean, if anyone's going to throw rose petals at my feet, you know, Rose City. So it's a 24-point lead for Stonington. They have the ball. What can Ledyard do realistically? I'm not even going to say to win the game, but to sort of right this ship.
You know I say it's coach speak to say to play one possession at a time, but you really have to play one possession at a time. Chip away. But Stonington's not going anywhere.
And that's the one thing is, and we'll talk a little bit about how matchups can make things more challenging. Cornell, good job by Shevlin disrupting. Leaf up ahead to Green, down to Shevlin, stripped and out of bounds. Ledyard gives teams problems because Shevlin's a big, and they outwork a lot of teams. They're tough. Stonington's a very tough matchup for him because Cornell equalizes their big, and the pressure Stonington can exert is tough for a team like Ledyard who doesn't have a lot of ball handlers, but more to the point, they're not a three-point shooting team, so for them to come back in games can be particularly difficult. Shevlin spun, they're going to call him with the travel. So, it's easy to say chip away, but Ledyard's got to chip away 2 points at a time and play defense against a team that can score.
All right, a little bit of pressure here to speed them up.
Wolfrad gets Shevlin in the air, but doesn't matter. Big guy was disruptive again.
You want to mirror that last possession. Push the ball up the sideline. There we go.
Green blocked as Shevlin was going up. Perfectly timed by Cornell. O'Neill in the other direction for 2.
12 points for Brady O'Neill now.
I'm going to give DJX some credit. The team is exceptionally well coached. They know how to attack everything Stonington is throwing at them. As Leaf buries a 3, I want to give Coach Wozencroft credit. They're able to execute despite Ledyard knowing exactly what they're trying to do. It's a great matchup. 3 for Hinchy. Luther finds a cutting Green. Basket is good and the foul. Beautiful cut to the basket by Dorian Green. And the sophomore will go to the line and shoot the bonus. And we'll have ourselves a free throw brought to you by Phillies.
Great energy to start the second half. I was really impressed with Green in the JV game. He was dominant.
Only a sophomore, good size. Going to be a huge factor for them next year after they lose this very important senior class. He will be a focal point next year. There goes Hinchy, baseline, high kick. O'Neal launches the three. No, he thought they had the roll, and Shevlin rips down the rebound. Leaf with another three, almost had that one. Green got the rebound, and the singular call I hate most in all of sports might be when a guy gets knocked down to the floor going for the ball. I like how the NBA does it, which basically lets you break dance until you get rid of it. I can't stand when he went up for the ball, gets knocked. He didn't fall on his own. He got knocked to the ground, and he gets called for the travel. They trap and turn over Stonington. Nice job by the Colonels. Leaf, spot up three, good!
Back-to-back threes by Leaf.
I mean, I think it's safe to say you can't leaf him open. We have ourselves a timeout, and this timeout is brought to you by C-Rack. Even the toughest, manliest men face life's challenges, and it's okay to admit it. Whether it's stress, anxiety, or just feeling like things aren't going right, you're not alone. You can take the 20-point head inspection at mantherapy.org. Start putting your mental health first. It's quick, it's simple, and designed to help you recognize the signs before they get overwhelming. Man Therapy. Therapy, the way a man does it. I keep saying Ledger doesn't have a three-point guy, but Leaf is knocked down back-to-back, and that's a good stroke.
Coach Exum told me a great story about Leaf earlier this week. He mentioned that two years ago when he was a 10th grader, Exum was a little bit tepid, and he wasn't sure if he was ready for this level yet, but his assistant coach pushed him to bring Leaf to the varsity level, and he said he hasn't come off the floor since.
And I think that line right there, he's a kid that you don't want to come off the floor, because if he on this team here, he has become the leading scorer many nights. He is certainly their most versatile scorer. He's the only guy that can score in 3 different locations on the floor. But on some nights, he's their leading rebounder. On some nights, he's their best defender. On some nights, he's the guy getting to the basket. So it is hard to take him off the floor, not only because he's so important to their team, but he just gives you max effort all the time.
Full court pressure here by Ledyard.
He's also the first to admit he's not a basketball player. O'Neal hesitates, drives on Cassavant, and scores. Good hands from Cornell. He drives on Shevlin. Nice move, but Shevlin disrupted it. Up ahead, Green runs the floor, misses the left. Hinchy was bothering him. Durham. There comes Cornell. He drives baseline, floats, no good. Gets it back, no good. And Shevlin definitely stepping it up a little bit on the glass here in the second half. We're going to get a foul on Shevlin, getting physical with Cornell, and got the elbow a little high. And
they've been jostling down there for a couple of possessions, but when you see that elbow get extended, that's when the call's going to happen.
And that's his first foul. And as a coach, if I were DJ Exum, or second foul, if I were DJ Exum, I'd say, good for you. You know what? That's okay, because my big guy should not only have 2 fouls. Like, you got to be physical. You need that. It wasn't malicious or like intended to hurt anybody as Hinchy knocks it down. He has to get physical in order for him to be effective, especially against a kid like Cornell.
And here, clearly going for the knockout punch with the 1-3-1 on back. Up 24.
Tipped. Leaf gets there ahead of Cornell. Cassavant kicks back to Leaf. Never saw Cornell on the weak side behind him. There's numbers. O'Neal for 3. In and out. And the rebound came to Wolfrad. And looks like Cornell went down hard. He's moving a little gingerly.
Looks like he's going to stay on the floor. He's going to walk it off.
Yeah, it looks like they just kind of took a hard spill. O'Neal lobs up top. Cornell catches and scores over Green. Nice high catch by Cornell with Shevlin out. 6-0 run since the timeout. Here comes Cornell, and that's just a huge size mismatch, and Stonington just like that on an 8-0 run. Lead is up to 28. Turnover by the Colonels. Up ahead, O'Neal running the floor, and he trickles it in. And a timeout, Ledyard, as the lead has ballooned to 30.
Brady O'Neal, the finisher.
Well, this timeout is brought to you by CRAC. Your mind matters. CRAC believes that mental health starts with a simple step, taking a timeout. When life feels overwhelming, pausing for just a few minutes to breathe and reset can make a big difference. Timeouts aren't a sign of weakness. They're a tool for strength and resilience. Join CRAC in creating a culture of care. Learn more at www.cracct.org. Take a timeout. Strengthen your mind. You know, we have seen some exceptional guard play in this game. Brady O'Neal leading the way. And that reminds me that great guard play is brought to you by the Guard Arts. The Breeze Line Winter Cinema Series. They have season passes still available. Visit guardarts.org. I'm counting Cornell as a guard. He and O'Neal and Durham have been outstanding. So is Hinchy. Leaf on the other side. Great guard play in this game.
Absolutely.
30-point lead for Stonington. I think they're going to try to close this one out big in this quarter, and then you're going to see a lot of guys down the bench playing in the fourth.
Yeah, I would wager this last 2 minutes and 30 seconds is going to be the last run from Cornell.
Underneath, Cassavant in the right place at the right time, gathers up the missed shot and gets a nice offensive rebound and puts in two.
And that's what the 1-3-1 will create for you offensively. If they're not trapping out of it, you're going to get corner threes.
Beautiful lob from O'Neal to Cornell. Couldn't get it to go. And then Langren is fouled. Veslowski checks in, gives O'Neal a breather for the Bears. Off the screen, Durham, open three. He is automatic when you give him an open look. There's trapping spot right there. Ledyard struggling right now. This 1-3-1 has been attacking. Cassavant can't get it to go. Nice rebound from Cornell. They're definitely turning it up here in this last minute. Burke checks into the game for Ledyard. Cassavant will take a breather.
Coach Exum had a lot to say about Trent Burke. You know, Trent missed a year and he came back, and DJ told me that he's really saved them.
Burke drives, kicks, Leaf swings, three no good. Another rebound for Cornell. Cornell takes Burke off the dribble and he'll draw a foul out on the perimeter. That's the next phase for Cornell. If he can get to where he's strong enough and quick enough to start beating those smaller guards, he can beat them physically. But if he can get to where he can get that big first step past the smaller guards, get to the basket, then sky's the limit. like that, he can do all day. Another beautiful move and finish from Elijah Cornell.
When I talked to Elijah earlier this week, I asked him what's the best piece of basketball advice that he's ever received. And he said it was from his dad. And his dad says, I don't care about scoring, I just want max effort everywhere.
Good swing. 3 from Burke, no good. Another tip rebound. Up ahead of the pack, running the floor. Easy basket for Lengren. And the lead is 35 as we track down the final seconds here of the third quarter. Everything Stonington has wanted to do today and more. Five seconds. There goes Leaf. Blocked by Cornell. A 17-2 run to end the third quarter and a 35-point lead. The Bears have flair and they're defending the lair. Fourth quarter action coming up. You're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
Has disaster struck your home? At Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates, our team of attorneys knows that dealing with insurance companies can be stressful and confusing, and we are here to help. From storm damage to fire or flooding, water leaks, and freezing pipes, we work tirelessly to ensure your full claim is paid. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too. Call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates today at 860-MMB-TEAM or at mmbteam.com.
Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. Why have one attorney when you can have a team?
There it is, the Bears' lair. One of my favorite places, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention, of course, the great championship of 1957 and 58, the badminton back-to-backs that Stonington High School was able to put together. You know, they still talk about those badminton championships all over eastern Connecticut, 1957 and 1958. I asked my father, the great Jim O'Neill, who was 13 years old at the time, I said, what do you remember about those state championships? And he said, Case, you've never seen badminton played the way it was by Stonington in the 50s. 35-point lead for Stonington as we enter the fourth quarter. And the starters are on the floor, but you're going to start seeing substitutes rolling into this one soon, I'm sure. High screen from Green. He wants the roll, does Leaf, so that he can be freed up to drive. And, oh, that's a grade 8 candidate right there. A 360 from Jack Leaf.
Nifty move by Mr. Leaf.
There's a steal. Green shows some speed, heads down the floor. Left-hand layup is good. Back-to-back baskets for the Colonels. Other direction. 3 missed. Burke's ahead of the pack. Up to Luther. 6-0 run. Other than Durham, it's some reserves in the game for Stonington, and not liking the effort right now because they have given up 6 straight. So Durham says, let me just knock down this 3. All the way to the basket. Tip, 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 and that should stay white basketball, and it is. Checking into the game for the Bears, Cormac Murphy, the freshman. Sean Durham is 5 for 5 from 3 today.
Another big 3 from Durham. Durham told me a great story earlier this week. I asked him what his New Year's resolution was when it came to basketball, and he says it's moving without the ball. He says he loves watching UConn.
Leaf will get to the basket. He'll shoot a couple.
Right, and the way that Luke Murray has created that offense for Dan Hurley and his kids to run, it's just constant movement, constant movement. You see a lot of that in Stonington's offense as well.
Leaf gets to the line. He'll shoot a pair of free throws, brought to you by Phillies. Remember, you go to Phillies and you say every day is game day, and you get 10% off cheesesteak. Shevlin will check back into the game, and as soon as he checks back in the game, Stonington says we'll send Cornell back into the game as well. Unofficially 11 blocks for Elijah Cornell to go along with double-digit rebounds and a number of steals as well. Even though he's been scoring points at a premium, it's been his defensive work today that has changed this game. There's a three. Got it! EC for three.
Cornell up to 20 points after that three now.
He's not far away from a triple-double. He actually probably has one now. If he's got the 11 blocks, he's going to have a triple-double. Durham finally misses from three. So he's 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. Leaf, another three. Jack's knocking it down. Jack of all trades, master of three. Cornell, silky. Elijah Cornell showing off the pivot. And gonna get an offensive foul, illegal moving screen. 5:22 remaining here in the ball game. Durham for three. Got it. Sean Durham is en fuego.
I believe that's his 6th three of the day.
6 of 7 from behind the arc. Leaf. And we're going to get a foul underneath. And that'll be against Shevlin. Shevlin was shoving. So they called him for the foul. Green checks back in. 5 minutes on the dot remaining in this one. All Bears.
And Coach Wozencroft talked about going for the kill, talked about letting down in the 4th quarter and letting teams come back in. And as you can see with Cornell and most of the starters still on the floor, they're not taking any chances here.
Oh, nifty when he can't get it to go. Vislowski with the left. Screen from Cassavant. Leaf hangs and just gets it over the fingertips of Cornell. Jack Leaf leading the way for Ledyard. Nice look underneath. Cornell scores over Green. Cassavant, no, another rebound by Cornell.
Nice move by Cassavant to get to the left, but the lid is back on the basket.
Durham for three, good! He's on fire. Look down now, Ledyard, baseline drive. Quezon loses it out of bounds. And here come the substitutes into the game for Stonington. We'll check them off. Tyler Jordan and Reese Phelan. Cormac Pettigrew. Luke Hoagland. All checking into the game along with Tyler. I mentioned Tyler Jordan, and there is Pettigrew. So they're into the game for Stonington. Sebastian Holloway in the game for Ledyard, and knocking down a three right into the game is Luke Hoagland. That's senior privileges right there. When they talk about senior privs, it's I'm a senior, I get to shoot the three as soon as I get in the game. Here comes, he wanted to bring the roof off this place, and he's gonna be so upset at himself. He knows he only has seconds left, and that was it. What a game by Elijah Cornell, a triple-double, points, rebounds, and blocks. He wanted to bring the house down. He missed the dunk, and he was so mad. He's looking at me, still not forgiving himself because he had a chance at the big time. Oh, I love it.
What a performance. What a performance, both ends of the floor.
Some subs into the game for Ledyard. 11 threes, by the way, for Stonington as a team. Jordan Sizer into the game here, along with Chase Martin for the Colonels. Frantic action right now for the last 2 minutes. Both teams fighting for everything. Rebound on the weak side comes to Tyler Jordan. Travel underneath by Hoagland before the shot got off.
Now, obviously a ton of senior leadership with Ledyard. That's kind of what's carried them. However, the youth movement is impressive.
There's some kids here that are going to be, I mean, obviously they're going to have to play big next year, but, you know, the fact that they'll bring back their starting backcourt next year, and I think Dorian Green has a chance to be a real nice player, especially if he continues his growth as a player. So, yeah, there's a lot to like. Sure, Ledyard's going to have, it's not, you know, the cupboard's not bare, and DJ's going to coach up the group that he has all the time. You know, Stonington is going to have to they're going to lose Brady O'Neill, who's, you know, the consummate senior leader, but just based on what they have coming back, you know, next year is going to be special for them again. So they're in the midst of the run right now. This Ledyard team is going to be starting it over. And it's players like that, sophomore Chase Martin with a steal in the basket.
Great move, end-to-end by Martin.
Steal by Green. Nice look underneath. And the foul going to the line will be Chase Martin for a pair of free throws, brought to you by Phillies. I definitely like what I'm seeing out of the sophomore Dorian Green. I think there's a lot of upside for him as a player. He's physical, he's long. We can see that he can move in open space. Only a sophomore, bright future there. Steal, Bears heading in the other direction. Pull up baseline, no good from Murphy. And a foul on Stonington. Ledyard basketball as we're under a minute remaining in this one. Of course, you want to remember that at the end of this one, you want to take care of all the interviews and more on our social media at Game Day CT. You're going to have the Waterford Dental Health Coaches interview, the Harbor Helpers Defensive Player of the Game, the Roberto's Log Cabin Player of the Game Day, the Science Sensational Play of the Game, and of course highlights, all going to be available on our social media. Those interviews will take place immediately following the game. We'll have a happy Jay Wozencroft. We'll have our Roberto's Log Cabin Player of the Game, as well as the Harbor Helpers Defensive Player of the Game. So we'll sign off pretty quickly at the end of this one, but you're going to want to go to our social medias, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and you can find all of the best content at Game Day CT. Stonington can let the clock run out and finish this thing off with a 41-point win, which is what they will do. So as the clock ticks down, a very impressive effort here in Stonington by the Bears. The Colonels, great effort. They'll go back to the drawing board. Anthony, we're going to have you back 100%. You'll be back doing another game with us as we head into the postseason. It's been an absolute pleasure having you today.
Oh, I can't wait to come back. This was a dream, an absolute pleasure to be here. What a blast.
And Juice, if you're still listening and watching out there, he doesn't quite fill the entire seat, but I'll tell you what, not bad. He's a white suit away is all I'm saying. Big win for the Bears. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Harbor Helpers Marine LLC is a locally owned marine service company based in Waterford, Connecticut, delivering professional boat detailing, hull cleaning, waxing, and marine maintenance throughout the area. Built by young boaters with deep local marina ties, Harbor Helpers is known for reliable service, sharp attention to detail, and results you can see on the water. From weekend cruisers to working boats, Harbor Helpers helps keep Connecticut's fleet looking better and running stronger all season long. Babbitt Home Improvement is a local veteran-owned business providing affordable home improvement and maintenance services. From windows, decks, additions, siding, and more, they do it all. No project too big or small. Give them a call today and get your free quote on your next project. You won't be disappointed. 860-319-4418. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Gear up for game day with a winning smile from Waterford Dental Health. Located in Waterford, we're your go-to for top-notch dental care in a relaxed, friendly setting. Whether you need a routine checkup, a cosmetic boost, or advanced treatment, our experienced team has you covered. Enjoy the game with confidence and comfort. Schedule your appointment today. Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is our top priority. Visit us online or call now to book. Nestled in the woods of Lebanon, Connecticut, Roberto's Log Cabin is the cozy, rustic home of comfort food. Family owned and operated, the Cabin, as it is fondly known, offers a diverse menu of hearty fare from burgers to the best ribs in the state. Come check out the Hallway of History in the newly renovated tavern, sample the diverse menu, craft beers, great cocktails, all while watching your favorite sports on one of their 10 TVs. Stop in and see Rob. Tell him Game Day sent you. Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more.